Okay. Another very important thing is so I'm going to give you various big frames. These are the high level processes that we are part of that hit our life. So one needs to understand this. These are outside. This is not related to our business. So perspective means, which is a frame of reference. This discussion will come again and again. So let's talk about this. I already gave you end client, vendor, etc. Now this is second one, right? So what happens is when a person comes to America, he can come either directly through H1 or that is work visa, or he can come on student visa. When he comes on student visa, that visa is called as F1 visa. Okay, and during he maybe mostly people come for masters. 2 year master is 2 year long, and right. So what happens is so during those 2 years they won't be allowed to work because they're on F1 visa. They can work on the campus, which is only for 20 hours. So this is one thing. If they work on the campus, obviously they're not good for us. But now during those 2 years, sometimes for 6 months and sometimes for 1 year, they're allowed to work outside campus, either for 20 hours or for 40 hours, but they're allowed to work outside campus. If they're working outside campus without taking this proper permit, then that means that's wrong. That's illegal. They should not do that. Now, during the MS, the work that they are allowed to, the fact that they are allowed to do the work is called as CPT, curriculum practical training. In India also, when you do engineering or something, right, you have 6 months to work for some company. This is same thing. So CPT is a vehicle using which a student is allowed to work outside the campus during his MS. That's called as CPT. It's a free visa. You can think of it as a free visa. So they are allowed to work. If they get they need CPT to be able to work outside and to get their SSN, because without SSN they can't be paid. I think if they work on campus also, they can get the SSN, and SSN is social security number, which is a unique number given to every individual in America. They need this number to be able to do the work and to apply for credit card and things like that. I think they can open accounts, but they cannot do really a lot of things, financial transactions like credit card and things like that. But anyway, so they get their SSN, they get their CPT. After 2 years are over, they get 2.5 year long OPT. For MBA, they get 1 year long OPT and OPT is optional practical training. The statement behind this, the premise behind this is the government says, hey, you know what, you have come to this country, now you have 2.5 years to look for a proper job and get the proper visa. That's 2.5 year long thingy. So they get free visa again, free work visa again. So they have 2.5 year long OPT. Okay. And as I said, for MBA, so for STEM, science, technology, and engineering and maths, they get 4 year, so the 2.5 year long OPT, which is broken down into two pieces. 1 year plus 2.5. 1 year is regular, and I think 1.5 it's exactly 29 months, not 2.5. It's 29 months. The rest of the time is basically there are different rules. For first 12 months, they can work on a voluntary basis, and then for 19 months, for 17 rest of the 17 months, they have to be on a payroll of a proper company. So voluntary basis means they can be paid zero and they can work within those OPT period. Within 3 months at the start of the OPT, let's say their MS is over and now their OPT starts. Within 3 months, they are supposed to find a job. If they don't find a job within 90 days, they have to leave the country. So they typically find someone, they almost, they can go to door and say, so various companies, they say that give me a voluntary base, at least there is no salary involved. Now I have 1 year, and they work on that. They work on the OPT with that company, and then on the side they keep looking for their job. So they do that. So once OPT is before OPT is over, every year in April, the H1 visa lottery is taken out by the government. So you have to apply in February. You have to find a company which will sponsor, and then you have to apply for your H1. And on April 1st, they get the visa. April 1st, we can apply. The lottery gets decided, not they get the visa. It takes 3 to 4 months to get the visa. So around April, May, June, July, around July-ish, they start to get their H1s. They can start working only from October 1st. Okay, they can start working only from October 1st in that year. So they have including CPT, including OPT, they have 2.5 years plus 1 year or so to apply for their green card. In 3 attempts, they can get that. So in H1B, there is a preference for master students. About 20,000 are reserved for them, something like that. And if they get their name in that, they will be able to stay in United States and keep working. And that's what they call as work visa. So once their work visa comes, similarly, people who are coming from India, they need to apply for their H1 sometime in February, January, April 1st, lottery gets picked, somewhere around that. And then once their processing happens in June, July, they get their visa. And then October 1st, so before October 1st, around September first week onwards, they can fly too. So within the 30 days of the start of the job. So job can start at earliest at October 1st, not earlier than that. Even if they have the visa, they will get the stamping done and all that stuff. They'll go to embassy, get the stamping done, and then they will come to United States within the 15, 20 day, 30 day, within 30 days of October 1st of their joining date. And the joining date cannot be before October 1st, right? So once they come here, now the life of student visa people and H1 visa people are all same. Now they got their work visa and they are working here. They now start a long journey of green card. So both the people, all kinds of people who are on H1 now, they'll tell their employer, hey, can you please file my green card? So if they file for the green card is in 3 stages. First stage is LCA. First stage is called as LCA, labor condition approval. So employer will file for LCA. I think it takes about 4-5 months. It's called as perm also. And then after perm is approved, within one first stage, there are 2-3 stages. They do advertisement, they do this, they do that. There are so many things. Sometimes it takes up to total process may take up to 9 months to 1 year, because advertisement and preparing the paperwork and all those things take time. So then second stage is called as I-140, or ability to pay. So company has to prove that they have the ability to pay the candidate, and so they show that by basically they show that by the ability to pay by basically, because if the person hired with them, then that's a good way to say that this guy, they have the ability to pay. After ability to pay starts a long wait for the third stage, filing. Not for approval, just to file there is a long wait, about 7, 8, 9, 10 years. If you hear that green card takes a lot of time in America, that is this stage. After 140, one special thing occurs. The person is allowed to sponsor his spouse's H4EAD. So the H4EAD is a free visa. They can work for anybody. H1 is not a free visa. They have to keep working for the same company that sponsored their H1. If they want to work for another company, they have to change the H1. They have to transfer the H1, which is pretty much as same as filing a new H1, and then that takes a lot of money, $3,000-4,000, and although the company has to pay, but it costs a lot of money, and so it is a risky process also, because what if the visa gets rejected this time? Typically H1, when it gets approved, you remember October 1st, June, July thingy, or when a person is coming from India, it may be for 3 years. Sometimes it is for 1 year, sometimes it's for 2 years, blah blah blah. So filing an H1 again means, your old H1, the new H1 may come with a little lesser time approval. So nobody wants to do that. So people on H1, basically they tend to stick with the same company. Their green card is being filed through them, and they they don't take chances. Now I-140 is approved. Now coming to the discussion, the I-140 is approved. Then after that, after I-140, there are H4EAD gets approved, right, for the spouse. Now H4EAD is the spouse is working in a proper job. She can take any job, and she can take a local job. She can easily find a job, because H4EAD is a free visa. She doesn't need any sponsorship. Typically end clients and vendors, you remember, they don't give jobs. Remember the other perspective, end clients, it's very easy to get difficult to get the jobs at the end clients, because they need proper visa. They need H4EAD, GCAD. I'll tell you what GCAD is, and green card or citizenship. They need all these things, otherwise they don't give you a job. On H1 they don't easily give you a job. On OPT CPT they pretty much never give you the job. It's very difficult to get a job on OPT CPT. Now, having said this, now starts a long wait after one I-140 approval. After 6 months of I-140 approval, they are free to change their No, I know. I think they have to stick with the same employer. Once it takes 7-8 years, 9-10 years for the third stage filing allowed date. Okay, that is third stage is called as 485, and that 7-8 years, 9-10 years is a very grueling time, and that's what I call as H1 is a very problematic thing. But anyway, so during that stage, third stage, once it is filed, after 6 months they are a free bird. They get something called as GCAD. So within third stage there are sub stages which are very important. One is GCAD, second one is AP, advanced parole, and third one is actual approval, pretty much. So third thing takes about 3-4 years. So they stay within the third stage for like 3-4-5 years. But the first two stages they get cleared automatically just as it is filed, which is called as GCAD and AP. What is AP? Advanced parole. Before advanced parole, during the entire H1, if they go to India, they have to have stamping if they are coming back. If they don't have the stamping, they have to go to embassy to get the stamping done, even if their H1 is approved. So you see, let's say a person is working here came here somehow, and now his H1B is approved for 2 years. He would have gotten 2 years stamping also to get into America. Now, if he, after let's say within 2 years he got the, let's say, this thing done, approval done, H1B approval done, and another approval done, right? Because he must have filed for extension. Now what happens is, once he filed for extension, then he has to go back to, let's say, wants to visit his country for, that's the whole thing, like anything would be happening, right? His brother's marriage may be there, his sister's marriage may be there, anything would be there. If he goes to India, because 2 years are over, his stamp is over, right? His visa is approved, but stamp is over. So to enter back, he needs a stamp again. So he has to go to embassy and get the visa stamp, and that's a very big problem in H1B's life. So that's because they have to get, their stamping may get rejected. That's the issue. Their stamping may get rejected, and that's a very big issue, right? That is the issue, right? So that's what happens. Stamping is get rejected for small things. They would reject the stamping. They will treat like a criminal. And anyway, whatever that is, I want to just tell you the entire process. So this ordeal of stampings and extensions and visits to India is a problem. Is true for like many years, till the time GCAD is, so till the time 485 is filed and advanced parole gets approved, which takes about 3-4 months after filing, maybe 5-6 months. Once AP comes, they are free to work for anybody in United States, and they get something called as GCAD also. Sorry, they are free to exit the United States on the basis of advanced parole and come back without needing any visa or any stamping or anything. Similarly, GCAD also gives them a certain interesting freedom. They can work for anybody without any visa. That $4,000 fee that the employer has to spend to hire them is gone. They will treat them like green card holders. They know that these guys are free to work for anybody. So GCAD AP should be the end goal of anybody. Once they get GCAD AP, another 6, they have to work for 6 months for the same employer through which they applied at 485, etc. But after that, they are free birds, right? After that, they are free birds. One more thing: during stage 1 and stage 2 of green card, if they quit the company and join another company, they have to restart the entire stage 1 and stage 2. After stage 2 is approved, they can go to another company, but their stage 1, stage 2, let's say stage 1 was filed on, let's say, 1st May 2013. So then for 485 there is a waiting list, right? I told you, right? There is a long wait for 485 filing. So that waiting list is first come first some basis. So whosoever filed in 2012 will be given first priority, and 2013 will be given second priority. That's what they call as priority date. So everybody is waiting for their priority date. Their priority date will be 1st May 2013, and they have to go to Murthy.com, or there are USCIS journal. I go to Murthy.com to see what is the current 485 filing date, and they have to wait for that, and only then they are able to file once the priority date becomes current, right? You understand that? I already told that, but it's a technical way of saying the same thing. Now their priority date would be like, if they have to restart the entire process. If 140, I think priority date is once filed, it stays the same, and these rules keep on changing, by the way. So take it with a pinch of salt. These are not, but at a high level, the priority date will stay on 1st May 2013 once he files. But what happens is the entire process has to be restarted. The LCA 140 all has to be redone if the changes with the before 140 is approved. But after 140 is approved, he can change without any issues. $4,000 have to be spent, that is agreed, but at least his whole process of GCAD, etc., sorry, LCA and I-140 doesn't have to be done, right? The very big thing, because a lot of money is involved, right? $10,000-15,000 are involved, and plus, uncertainty is involved. What if it gets rejected, right? So all this, so many people, they after their 140 gets approved, remember, within 2 years of green card processing, stage 1, stage 2 over, and stage 3 is 7-8 years away. At that point, they get a sense of relief, because at least they are free enough to join any other company. Many people tend to join consultancies after this, because now they got their visas. If they go to India, the same extension issues will come, visa extension issues will come. They will go to India, their extension issue will come, their stamping issue will come. All those issues will come at least, but they don't have to restart the entire green card process. If they don't have to restart the entire green card process, that's at least one advantage they have, right? So after the GCAD and AP is approved, that is third stage is approved, almost 10 years into the green card process have been done, they and 3-4 years in MS has been done, right? So after all this, and OPT CPT 3-4 years, and then H1 and all those things 10-15 years, they get GCAD. Once they get GCAD and AP, they are free to visit the country without any visa. They can come back without any visa stamp. They can come back, and they can work for anybody without worrying about anything. They can change the employers whenever they want. Making sense? So this is the way these things work. Now starts not a very long, but 3-4 year long wait of the actual green card. One day the green card will get cut and it will come to their doorstep. That's how it works. So once they get the green card, they have to wait for 5 years to apply for citizenship. When they apply for citizenship, they get the citizenship, and then they become citizen, and then they are they have full rights. They can vote for vote also. Green card is as good as citizenship. It's just that if you are caught in some crime like DUI or any crime, then you are sent back to your country for 10 years. So you have to go back to your country for 10 years, and you still have Indian passport, so you cannot visit all those Schengen countries and all those wherever USA passport is allowed for free. But anyway, so this is the thing. But other than that, GC is same as green card, citizenship. After citizenship, you face another issue. You have to, whenever you visit India, you need a visa. So you need the visa of India, right? So this is the thing. So this is the entire journey. I will be referring to this whole journey of, I call it journey of a consultant, or a life of a consultant in America, how it progresses. And I will be referring to this data whenever I have a discussion and talk about this number of times. All right, thank you.